Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. As you might be able to notice in my background, uh, I'm back in my first house because I realized I had some things I had to address. I had to address here, and I took the time to get back here and take a look at them. While here, or while I was getting ready, I realized that according to my schedule, the videos that would come out on my, on the third anniversary of my YouTube channel, would would have to be filmed, would have to be filmed um, at this location. And I thought, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And as such, that is where I am, and this is what I'm doing. And the topic of this video, as you might have been able to tell from the format and the title, is a casual discussion. A casual discussion based on The Masks We Wear by Samantha Pearlman. And when I say by Samantha Pearlman, you shouldn't really think of Samantha here as an author, but as a project manager, in the sense that Samantha has given Samantha has started the next page project, which is a which aims to uh, have a book be created uh, collaboratively by a whole bunch of different authors from a whole bunch of different um, backgrounds, be they cultural, be they sociological, um, be they personal identity based, um, or according to any other divide that one could use. and in order to do so, in order to get the creative juices flowing, Samantha has given has given the participants within this project a prompt, the masks we wear, and a starting page. Each subsequent offer would then have to write their own page that builds upon what the previous offers have left. As you might have been able to figure out by now, yes, indeed, I am one of the one of the authors that contributed to this page, to this project, that contributed a page to this project. Yeah, in case you can't tell, this video is entirely off the cuff, so I didn't script anything. Samantha began the next page project, I think, somewhere around May of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And the book was finally released in March of 2023, early March of 2023. So yeah, it took her around 2 years. Actually, as one of the contributing authors, I actually received a copy of the book in electronic format, of course. And I initially wanted to do a more traditional review where I talk about storytelling conventions uh, and the various ways in which the narrative unfolds and whatnot. But as I was starting to script it, I realized that that kind of video really that it didn't really work, because if I were to talk about this book the way I talk about all the other books, I would have to say that it is a complete mess, because the plot goes in at least five different directions at once. It drops various elements almost after the page where where it introduces them. It calls back to things completely. Creates callbacks to things that were clearly not set up to be called back to, and so on. That's really, but then again, that is really just a byproduct of this book having so many unique and distinctive visions working towards it. That is indeed the intention, because the intention was to uh, provide uh, a is to provide a foundation for a collaborative effort, something that would allow uh, people especially creative people, to connect with each other in times of in times of strife. Because keep in mind, this was during the maybe not during the height of the COVID pandemic, but during a time when there was when it was still a major active issue. Even though other issues started to roll more and more in the foreground. And I think to some extent that bias, or really that selection, led to a kind of bias that went on to influence the actual creative work involved within the making of this book. What do I mean by that? Well, by that I mean that the initial theme of the book stems from its title, "The Masks We Wear." So it's basically about masks and how it was intended to be about masks and about how they are employed and used within general life. Given that sanitation masks were also were also an issue around the time, it seemed it seemed quite a fitting point. Over time, however, that theme morphed and became a little bit more abstract from masks to generally identity. What it is that shapes your identity, the internal factors as well as the social external factors, and how is it that these external factors um, act upon people, not just individuals, but also varying groups of people, and how it is that these influences uh, uh, perpetrate and in turn their construction. It is kind of a it is very abstract to kind of simplify in that sense, but it is written. I will give it credit. It is written in an easier to follow way that more naturalistically derives um, from the narrative foundation that the book lays down. And what is that narrative foundation? Well, it's about a couple of high schoolers who are getting back to in class learning. Keep in mind this project did start in early 2021 when when that was an issue. And over time, they realize a few things about themselves, and those realizations within both of them actually trigger somewhat of an identity crisis. And it is through that identity crisis uh, that they learn who they are, what their backgrounds are, and what it means and what that means in general for them to be involved within the within their societies, within their communities, which is an which I actually have to commend all of the authors for delving into, because this is a pretty tricky topic to explore, and the fact that they were able to do so, even if even if not always smoothly, is actually a great example of what what a collaborative effort can do when it gets into it. Unfortunately, I do have to say that some of these that sometimes this book can veer for the melodramatic, especially when one of the main characters is afflicted with fainting spells. It's and there are and yeah, in that's not the only issue that this plot has, that is occasionally melodramatic, but I'm not going to repeat that. Still, I do have to say that even if I weren't involved within this within this project, I have to say it's called the Next Page project if you want to search it up, look it up. So if you can't find the book or the author, maybe you'll be able to find the project in that sense. So if you're interested in more background information, even though Samantha herself has been quite helpful when it comes to that, I don't think she's actually been not just helpful but very transparent in terms of what it is that makes this that makes this project work. And I pretty much think people were supposed to, and I think it did its goal. It accomplished its goal in allowing uh, not just creative people to connect with each other, but in showcasing what it is that makes these connections important, and what it is that, again, off the cuff, I'm trying to piece my sense together. It did its goal not just in showcasing, in allowing collaborators to allowing creative people to work together, but also in showing what stems from these broader collaborative efforts, and how it is that the issues people touch upon ultimately affect not just them, but the whole communities within which they live, and exactly how uh, communal communal sufficiency and uh, medium large social groups and groupings actually work and can find themselves and build connections. It it is a very interesting book, and if you're able to go out and find it, and uh, I do thoroughly suggest you do, even if it is somewhat disjointed, its creation and its ultimate message I think contains a deeper truth than maybe even most of the people who were who are involved with the project have really been able to figure out or predict as it was going forward. And yeah, that was basically it. Thank you for that was my video. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Maybe even share this video wherever you think other people will like it as well. If there is anything you'd like to add to the book, to the idea, to the project, to the way I presented it, well then that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My own book, Heir to the Empire: The Next Generation, is available at most major book retailers under a master link in the description down below, right past all of my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. You'll also be able to find my Patreon listed down there in case you want to support me more directly and maybe even receive perks such as early access to videos and scripts, both for this channel and my second one. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.